Hi boys and girls, we're now on to part 2 of equivalent fractions. So let's review just a little bit about what we learned about equivalent fractions from lesson 1. We learned that by looking at pictures, if we looked at a picture of a fraction, we found out that the parts shaded in out of total parts was the same. So that showed that in this case, this picture 1/2 is shaded in, so the fraction that represents this picture is 1/2. And then we showed that the amount of space shaded in this one was 4 out of 8. So since the same amount of space is colored in, these two fractions are equivalent. Now, let's actually take 1/2 and 4/8 and look at it separate from the picture. When you are creating equivalent fractions using an equation, you can either use multiplication or division. So let's actually look at 1/2 and look at 4/8. Do we see a relationship using multiplication or division between the 1 and the 4 and the 2 and the 8? Is there something I could do to the 1 that would create 4? But I'd have to do the same one to 2 that would create 8. Do you see a number possibly that could be used? I do. I'm hoping that you saw that 4 was the same. So in this case, 1 times 4 equals 4, 2 times 4 equals 8. By using 4 and multiplying it by both top and bottom, you will create an equivalent fraction. So using equations for equivalent fractions, all you have to do is find a number, multiply both top and bottom by the same number, and you will create an equivalent fraction. So that means any fraction that you would have here, multiply the numerator and the denominator by the same number, and you will get an equivalent fraction. Now the same goes for division. Let's say, for instance, you have 4/12. Can you think of a number that you can divide both top and bottom by that would get you an equivalent fraction? I see 4. If you divide both top and bottom by 4, 4 divided by 4 is 1, 12 divided by 4 is 3, you would get 1/3. 4/12 and 1/3 are equivalent fractions. All right, so let's take actually a larger one and go down even further. So let's say, for instance, you have 12/36. Do you see a number that you could possibly multiply or divide by? Well, let's make it easy on ourselves. Let's just take 2. You can start with 2, you can start with other numbers, and that will actually go into a different lesson. So let's just start with 2. 12 divided by 2 is, that's right, 6. 36 divided by 2 is, that's right, 18. So now you have 6/18, which is an equivalent fraction to 12/36. Can we go even smaller? Absolutely. I see the relationship between 6 and 18. I know for a fact that 6 times 3 is 18. So then I know that I can divide both of those by 6. And 6 divided by 6 would then be 1. 18 divided by 6 would be 3. And 1/3 is an equivalent fraction to 6/18, as well as 12/36. Thanks.